AEW added main event level talent to their roster in March of 2024. A roster that already featured Swerve Strickland, Adam Copeland, FTR, and current champion Samoa Joe would now also contain names known all over the world: Will Ospreay, Kazuchika Okada, and Mercedes Moné. But not every match was going to be a 10 out of 10, so in this video we will look at the lowest rated matches that aired on AEW Dynamite between March and April of 2024. If you enjoy this video, make sure you like, subscribe, and ring the bell to be notified when new videos drop. These were the top 10 best matches on AEW Dynamite 2024. Number 10.
What a hidden gem in the middle of a crowded show. Tight, focused, and a brilliant showcase for both wrestlers. It was refreshing to see Jay White return to his cerebral, dismantling style that made him stand out in New Japan. And Darby Allin, who was legitimately bandaged and bruised, still launched himself into insane bumps in a compelling underdog performance. It was visceral and thrilling, and every bump was felt. Really great match between these two. This match really showcased the best of Jay White once again, and Darby made everything look great as he always does. Loved the finish where Darby beat the count out and immediately was caught in the Blade Runner. And guys, this might be my match of the year right now. I could call it early. Like, this is it. Jay White versus Darby Allin is like what I'm all about. Two of my favorite wrestlers in AEW in a fantastic match with tons of story and development. Not just what happens in the match, which is nuts. Darby is bumping off the stairs. Darby is bumping off of Jay White. Darby's bumping off everything. Darby takes an apron bump that is one of the sickest looking bumps, had me legitimately convinced that he was going to get counted out of the ring, only to slide back into the ring and take a fucking Blade Runner and eat the pin for the 1-2-3, which we knew was coming, right? We knew Darby is headed up to Mount Everest, which I don't know if that's advisable, but off he goes. And on the send-off, not only is he being Pillmanized, he Pillmanized himself on the apron. Not only is he being Pillmanized that way, but they actually legitimately Pillmanized with him with the chair and a baseball bat to the ankle. Like, oh my God, Darby, we get it, dude. You're going to be out for a while. Like, okay, guy, you sold it.
Number 9.
Quite possibly the best match of Will Ospreay's fledgling AEW career so far. This match featured a more coherent story than Ospreay's 3 other AEW matches. I love Powerhouse Hobbs chucking Ospreay about early on, the suplex on the steel steps, and the follow-away slam onto the announce table were sick. Powerhouse Hobbs, maybe the most underappreciated and underrated wrestler on the AEW roster for the longest period of time. Since 2019, people have been trying to tell you that Powerhouse Hobbs is going to be the next big thing, and this match shows you why that is. The power of Powerhouse Hobbs is on display here and is glorious in its execution. A pretty alright match for what it is. Ospreay does his thing and has some great bumps. I've never seen a Hobbs match before, but this match has made me interested in what he does next, as he did some pretty brutal stuff to Ospreay in this match. Hobbs does show how green he is at times, and Ospreay doesn't really sell his back that much. This ended up being a decent, entertaining encounter. I also kind of wish that Hobbs got the win over Ospreay, considering how much damage he did to him, and the fact I really didn't like how Ospreay ended the match. It sort of felt like it came out of nowhere. I'm telling you, Hobbs is underappreciated. He's underrated. He's underexposed. He needs matches like this. Was he going to get this win? No. Did he look fucking fantastic in this match? Yes. One thing I gotta know though, why do we keep opening Dynamite up with a match from Will Ospreay? What is going on? Guys, this was the main event, right? Am I wrong? It's the match of the night. It's the highest rated match on Cage Match. All the Will Ospreay matches are main events. Why are we opening the show with that? We used to open the show with Orange Cassidy, and that was great. Now Roderick Strong is the new international champion. Why aren't we opening the show with Roderick Strong? Why aren't all the other characters on Dynamite talking about the Kingdom when the Kingdom aren't around?
Whenever
The Kingdom.
not on screen, all the other characters should be asking, where's
The Kingdom.
Why has the Kingdom been so sidelined since its introduction? They were the first thing on the first Dynamite of the new year. They were set up as the main heel faction of AEW, and now we just don't talk about them anymore. What the fuck?
Number 8.
This wasn't on the level of their first bout back in 2019, but it was still a really good match. Private Party and the Bucks have great chemistry and both teams delivered really good performances. The action was fast-paced and exciting, nice spots and exchanges. Private Party stealing the more bang for your buck made me pop, and Nicholas's Falcon arrow off the barricade onto the floor was nasty. I also love the Bucks' overall heel work in this match, especially the work on Quinn's back. They were born to be heels. Instead, Private Party pulled out a great, fiery babyface performance with great comebacks, natural charisma, and were able to win the crowd over as the match went by. I also like the various callbacks to the previous match, like Quinn using the same roll-up that got Private Party the win in 2019, but Matthews was able to kick out this time. The botched EVP trigger at the end is the only downside, but other than that, it was great. And I kind of agree with this more than anything else, other than I really didn't get the babyface thing from Private Party. The crowd hates the Young Bucks. Like, everybody hates the Young Bucks' new gimmick. It is designed to be hated. I will say at the start of the match, there was like constant boos for both of them. Like, it didn't seem to matter what Private Party was doing. And that did change towards the end. Towards the end, the more heel stuff the Young Bucks did, Private Party started to go over. But they could have just played to the audience a little bit more and played up the babyface thing a little bit more. And I think that would have elevated the match if there would have been a real sense that Private Party were the good guys and being, like, you know, oppressed by the Young Bucks. Maybe have Private Party actually get hit with the bell instead of the other way around, because yeah, in this match, Private Party were the ones succeeding at, you know, using the foreign object to hit the Young Bucks. And I don't know, guys. I don't think this match was as bad, as poorly rated as it is on Cage Match. I think a lot of it is it's getting hurt by comparison to their first match in 2019, which has been hurting them a lot. Coming in so strong with such like a unique feeling match and such a crowd pleasing finish is going to be difficult to kind of get out from under the shadow of, and I would have liked to have seen just a little bit more in this match to help them do that. I'm really hoping that if the Young Bucks win this whole thing, they get a rematch. Private Party gets a rematch with them and gets to put them down at some point. Would be really fun. However, I think the Young Bucks, if they win this thing, they're probably going to hold those belts for like the rest of the year. God knows how long it's going to take. But you know what? It's all about the chase. So if Private Party is able to work face and do that chase to get a rematch against the Young Bucks for the title, when it finally happens, if it happens, it should happen, it would be a glorious moment. I don't think this is the best Private Party has looked since they've come back. I don't. I thought the match between them and Top Flight was way better, guys. Go check it out. But Quinn was on fire in that match. I actually realized when I went back and watched the match between Young Bucks and Private Party at the start that the spot he did recently with Top Flight, he used back then in 2019, where he was flying from each side of the ring, back and forth on Top Flight. That's a really cool spot. I would have liked to have seen that here. It would have been cool just to see Private Party be a little more face, a little more crowd pleasing. It would have been more devastating to have him lose had they been doing more kind of high flying offense, more crowd pleasing stuff, instead of kind of working basically kind of in between, kind of heelish.
Number 7.
It just never ended. My God, was this boring. I was constantly cycling one movement break, and it was painful. Some fine spots, but they repeated to oblivion to get that cheap pop to a crowd that was so easy to please, they gave 0 fucks for half of the match. This is the highest rated match of the night. So any of the bad reviews here are in such bad faith, it's unbelievable. I assume that a lot of people who don't normally watch AEW tuned into this episode, and we're going to talk about that. Don't worry, guys. We are going to talk about that. But first, I just want to point out what a great fucking match this was to everybody that might have been watching AEW and just not paying attention or not realizing what good wrestling is when it's right in front of you. Holy shit. Edge was out here acting like a fucking luchador, doing spots that I've never seen Edge do. It was amazing. This is the kind of stuff you want to see from Adam Copeland in AEW, really expanding his repertoire, going back to old moves that he used to do when he was younger. The bump that Penta took on the apron, fucking shit. This match was incredible. God, this was fucking boring and a bad return match for me. Edge was gassed 3 minutes in, and then they proceeded to do a 20-minute heatless match. Penta was on top for most of it, with the most boring and lame offense I've ever seen in a while. Some decent moves towards the end, but it was a little too late. A lot of dead air in here between the spots. What the fuck match was this guy watching?
Number 6.
R.I.P. Wardlow. I didn't think he'd win. He shouldn't have won. But God, give the poor guy something in the match. Even piss poor booking aside, this was a pretty bland match. I've seen some people speculate that Wardlow is injured, but who knows? It would certainly make sense. And that's what I gotta go with too. And I thought the match was much better than this rating would imply. I thought the match was good. I thought they did a really good job. I don't know how injured Wardlow is with his knee. If Wardlow really is rocking a serious injury with his knee, if he needs surgery, then this all makes sense, and I'm not upset with the booking at all. If this is Wardlow being buried, which is kind of what happened, no matter which way we look at this good match or bad match, Wardlow's done. Like, it's over. And man, before this match, the Adam Cole moment, story time with Adam Cole, baby, was amazing. That was really cool. And it feels like something maybe they shot a while ago. and maybe that the outcome was supposed to be, Wardlow winning this, or maybe for this to happen in a pay-per-view, for this to go down at Dynasty. They bring Swerve out at the end, so it's clear, like, it's right back. Swerve and Joe is the real story here. Wardlow was a side quest. The Kingdom is a side quest. What are we doing? Weird complaint, but this being the first match after the opening promo kind of killed the vibe for me. Just made it instantly feel like less of a title match. Even if Wardlow winning was a long shot, they could have made it something out of this. Instead, it seemed like these two didn't really click, and this might have been it for Wardlow and AEW. Not talking contract status, although who knows, just fans ever giving a fuck about him being a main event player. Unfortunately, it just seemed like one big missed opportunity rather than a title match. And I gotta agree again, I hate agreeing with the bad reviews, but when the bad reviews are so well thought out and make sense, we knew that Hook wasn't gonna win, but when there was hope, there was something going on there. It really didn't feel at any point here that Wardlow had a shot at winning this. I don't even think he hit one. Did he hit a power bomb? He hit a casualty of war, the thing he does in the corner. And I thought it was really weird how the announcers were like, no one's ever kicked out of that. No one's ever supposed to kick out of that. That's not his fucking finisher.
Number 5.
I think for what it was, this match was decent to okay-ish. I'm not sure if the whole Willow thing is a work or if she's legitimately out with injury. It would really suck for the event on Sunday. But here I think they did pretty okay. Copeland gets attacked early on and is pretty winded for long until he's actually able to strike back. I really like the interference here. Instead of treating this like a singles match, they actually had Hart help King and Willow help Adam. Post-match was interesting as well. It's nice to see Monet do something. Other than those positive, this match is all right for the most part. Though I'd say that if Willow's injury was a work, it probably shouldn't have happened. I think this match is getting really unfair treatment in the ratings. I thought this was way more exciting and interesting, especially the offense that Willow had on Brody King. That was really cool to see. with her doing the cannonball in the corner and the big splash off the top rope. Thought that was awesome. Obviously, Julia is hurt. Look, Julia's hurt. Monet is hurt. A lot of people get hurt in professional wrestling, and sometimes they have to work around that, and that's what we are doing here. That's why Monet isn't in the ring. That's why she's not scheduled for the pay-per-view. As far as we know, I mean, it looks like they're setting up Monet to be in Willow's corner for the pay-per-view. So Monet is going to play a part in that, maybe a small part in that, maybe setting up for the next pay-per-view. Look, guys, did you notice the fucking storytelling? There's no fucking storytelling in AEW. You don't say. Look, there's storytelling all over the fucking place. Whether you choose to acknowledge it or not is up to you. But what's going on between Monet and Julia is AEW storytelling. Someone is attacking people in the dark. Is it Julia Hart? This isn't much of a mystery, guys, but it is a story. Something is happening. They are not just matches for no reason. This is a build happening. Look, I can't even believe that you don't see it. Maybe you don't watch it. Maybe you don't watch AEW, and that's your fucking problem with the storytelling in AEW, is you're simply not watching it. Therefore, you're not seeing the storytelling, but it's fucking there. Have you ever noticed people who don't watch AEW think that there's no storytelling in AEW? There's lots of storytelling in AEW. There are story elements in every episode of Dynamite. There are story elements that carry over in Rampage. There's a big story going on right now between Julia Hart and Mercedes Moné. You're just choosing not to acknowledge it if you are saying there is no storytelling in AEW, because there is. Now, what the storytelling in AEW is it's not Mercedes Moné and Julia Hart coming out and cutting endless promos on each other for weeks on end until a big match at a pay-per-view 6 months from now. That is what is not happening. So if that is what you like, then no, you are not getting that with AEW. You are getting backstage attacks and mystery assailants. You are getting in-ring storytelling with moments that are happening between Adam Copeland, Mercedes Moné, the looks between Mercedes Moné and Willow. Yeah, guys, it is just looks. It is just in-ring exchanges. It's not going to be this overblown thing that you're going to get elsewhere. Go somewhere else for that. Here in AEW, the focus is on the in-ring action, and that's what we got here in this episode of Dynamite, and that's what I like.
Number 4.
Just filling time with this match, which is a bad way to start off the show. Joe and Swerve teaming together is pretty weak. They're not at the level yet to be going at each other's throats, but it's still not something I think anyone has an interest in seeing. I don't know what show you're watching. Everyone is clearly invested in the Samoa Joe Swerve Strickland feud. The crowd was so here for this match. I have no idea how this could possibly be the lowest rated match on Cage Match in terms of this show. I really like the opening of this segment, the new set. There are some really cool shots that they're using now with the new set, where there's like a doubling effect going on. I thought that was really cool. I thought it was amazing how good Swerve looked at the end of this match, how much they did to reestablish him as a credible threat to Samoa Joe. The amount of offense he got in, the uniqueness of the offense he got in. Swerve shows here that he could be one of the best world champions that AEW has ever had. Swerve looks amazing in this match. The crowd supported him, and this match is more than just this match. It's everything leading up to it. The promo leading up to it, the story around it. I thought this was a masterful way to open this brand new arc of AEW. I think AEW has been really knocking it out of the park with their first episodes. The middle bits, maybe there's a little something to be left desired, especially in the last couple of months. We started off really strong with the Undisputed Kingdom. I'm really curious if they're going to be able to keep the momentum going. Yes, I agree that having Matt Taven.
And I'm Matt Taven!
And the other guy.
What an idiot!
Lose this match and get squashed. Just get demolished. It's Matt Bennett, by the way. Just get demolished, by the way, is horrible.
Number 3.
This match sucked because of Chris Jericho.
Idiots.
He don't got it. Last time he was good was in 2021. Now he's the worst years of his career. Hook did his thing. Very happy that he destroyed Chris Jericho like that, but overall this match still sucked. Okay, god damn. It seems to be a trend. I knew this was going to be it. As soon as I saw the card, I knew that this would be the lowest rated match on Cage Match. Dude, I love this goddamn match. The suplexes, holy shit. And some people are worried about Jericho, okay? Jericho took all those suplexes like a champ. None of those were delivered sloppy. He didn't really hit his head. They're selling it on commentary. Oh, Jericho hit his head. His fucking head is injured. His head's fine, guys. He's fine. He's Jericho. He's a goddamn pro. The only part of this match I didn't like, the only part I took issue with, and I kind of had a big issue with it, was when Hook put in the red rum in the ropes. Okay, he's in the corner. He puts the red rum in the ropes. Now, I don't know. Maybe I missed it. Maybe it's a hardcore match. I don't know. But don't rope breaks. Can't Jericho holding onto the ropes break the red rum? Aren't rope breaks still a thing? I don't know. But he wanders out. It's more than that, though. Okay, that aside. Like, let's put that aside. Let's put that over there. Jericho fights out of the red rum. The red rum has been on him for like a minute, and he fights out of the red rum and attempts to put on the fucking lion tamer. What a load of shit. You should not be able just to easily power your way out of the red rum after being fucked up. I mean, Jericho is suplexed and suplexed and suplexed, suplexed again, and just repetitively suplexed throughout this. He looked like he was just being destroyed by Hook. I liked that part. I thought that was great. It really reads the room well. And goddamn, I didn't expect Canada to boo Jericho as much as they did here, but here we are. Canada was booing Jericho. They were into Hook, and Jericho basically got like 2 moves in. He got like a top rope Captain Kirk, and then he pulled off a fucking lion salt. Always good to see you do a lion salt, Chris. I think it's amazing that this guy can still do that. I really thought Jericho was going to win this. And going into these ratings, I thought, looking at these ratings, I'm like, well, that's got to be what happened. Is like Jericho just like fucked Hook up and it really looked bad. But no, this is a great match.
Number 2.
Please save the people in this match from Chris Jericho. They all deserve better than this. I don't have confidence that Hook will come out better for this partnership with Chris Jericho. Lee Moriarty deserves better. In fact, I'm pretty sure AEW has grown beyond the need for Chris Jericho. And I think that AEW needs a different Chris Jericho. We just want original Chris Jericho. Please play Judas, Chris Jericho. Just play Judas, man. Come out. Give a good promo about how great AEW is. That's what everybody else is doing. Everybody else on the show is cutting these great promos about how great AEW is. Come out, play Judas, talk up AEW, talk up some new talent, and just put people over, man. Just put people over. Basic 3 versus 3, that would be fine, but of course they got to have Jericho on it. Seeing Shibata doing this stuff or Hook being wasted is just so dumb. The match itself was beyond mindless. The most nothing wrestling has ever been on AEW, to be honest. Get Jericho off my screen. And I've been defending Jericho a lot on this channel because his matches have been really good, but this match was crap. There's no other way around it. There really wasn't much to it. This angle, it became all about Jericho, which is a damn shame because this match really should have been all about a Go-Go, who does not get to do as much here as I would have liked to have seen him done for this being his big comeback match. We haven't seen a Go-Go in years, so it would have been cool to see him do more and be more focused on and just have a good match between him and the other guys involved here. Get some time with Jericho, get some time with, Shibata and Hook. I don't know, man. I don't even understand what Jericho is doing. We're not going to understand until next week. So now we're all thinking about Jericho. Why the fuck are we always thinking about Jericho? There's so many other guys involved in this that I want to think about more than Jericho. I want to think about Hook. I want to think about Shibata. I want to think about Ogogo. I like Lee Moriarty. Shane Taylor's cool. Jericho, what are you doing, man?
Number 1.
Have you guys seen the amount of negative reviews? It's insane. Like 0-star reviews, 0 points out of 10. Maybe the lowest rated match that I've seen on Cage Match since I've started doing this. And I knew that going in. And man, did I ever try to keep like an open mind about this match. Where do I even fucking start? Why was this match so long and awkward? A lot of these negative reviews center around the fact that Billy Gunn opens up this match with 10 minutes of uninterrupted offense on Jay White. Like, what the fuck? And I'm watching it too, and I'm trying to figure out, is Jay White going to make a comeback? Is Jay White going to do something? If you would have asked me going in what I thought Jay White was going to do, I thought we were going to see Jay White pull something like Swerve did with Dustin Rhodes and brutalize and show his more vicious side. I thought we were going to show Jay White's more vicious side, but what we ended up doing is showing Jay White's pathetic side over and over and over again throughout this match. Jay White was shown to be pathetic and spineless and ineffective. I mean, that's the problem. If you want to show him be a weasel, if you want to show him be a bad guy, that's fine. But heroes are only as good as the villains that they're up against, right? If the villains that our heroes are up against are idiots and incompetent and stupid and pathetic, how good can our heroes really be? We needed to see a more vicious Bullet Club Gold here if we were going to buy into this story, in my opinion. This whole match would have went down better had the Bullet Club Gold actually succeeded at fucking up Billy Gunn's house. So if you missed this, on Collision, Bullet Club Gold broke in to Billy Gunn's house. I don't know if they broke in or if his kids had the keys, but they got access, and Jay White was going to smash up his big TV, right? But he doesn't. Billy Gunn comes home and interrupts Jay White, and then they run off, and no TVs are smashed. If you are going to have Billy Gunn beat the ever-loving fuck out of Jay White for 10 uninterrupted minutes on Dynamite in a few days, why not have Jay White break the fucking TV and actually, I don't know, do some damage to the home? Drive a fucking car into the living room. You're going to have to do something to up the stakes so that there's some payoff when this happens. Billy Gunn just goes fucking crazy and kicks Jay White's ass up and down the ring. At one point, we see backstage and we see that the Acclaimed are knocked out. And so I'm thinking, okay, maybe there's an angle here. Maybe this was all to set up something. But no, later on, the Acclaimed run out into the ring and everything is fine. And they're the good guys. I don't get any of the shit that happens in this match. It's not just bad. It's also fucking confusing. This was one of the most embarrassing matches in AEW history. I was checking Twitter throughout the match because I couldn't believe what I was watching. This felt like a complete burial of Jay White, a man who main evented a pay-per-view for this company only around 6 months ago and was fed to a 60-year-old man in a 10-minute squash match. It didn't help that some of the logic in this match was atrocious too. Why were the Acclaimed recipients of a backstage beatdown only to come and save Billy like nothing had happened to them? I thought the angle was setting up the return of Juice Robinson to return and take out the Acclaimed, but instead they just made Jay and the Guns look incredibly weak. And I think that sums it up. I think that's why this thing has such a low rating. AEW, guys, pay attention. Jay White, big fucking star. Everybody loves him. Stop booking him like dog shit. There was literally one positive review. Here it is. Don't know why people are so negative on this. Billy has been booked strong his whole AEW run, and Jay did a good job of selling because he is a super talented professional. Neither got the pin on the other, so they both left undefeated. This is obviously leading to a trios match where Bullet Club Gold will win, so I don't know why people are surprised that Billy gets a showing of being strong and keeping the feud bubbling. I like that Billy is a beast and Jay is so talented. It's crazy, really fun match. I will say the teams coming out at the end I wasn't a huge fan of, apart from Jay pretending to trip so he could be dragged back into the ring. I actually thought that was absurd that Jay White like tripped on the way. Like, oh my fucking God, dude. Like, could you make Jay White look like more of a goddamn idiot? I wish they would have put him through the table. Like, holy shit. Were you guys upset that he didn't go through the table? Everybody in the arena was upset he didn't go through the table. You had one job, and that was to put Jay White through a table. Honestly, I think Bullet Club Gold came off looking sympathetic here. It looks like they were brutalized by the Acclaimed. Are you trying to do like a double turn and turn Bullet Club Gold face over this and the Acclaimed heel? I mean, that's the only thing I can figure, and I'm trying to trust the process. I am trying to tell myself that AEW knows what they're doing and this will pan out, and really it might be too soon to say, so let's see how it goes. What am I going to rate this? Shit, man. Look, I do agree that the opening of the match was fun. I do agree that the intro is really cool where Billy Gunn comes up behind Jay White. I like that bit. I don't like anything else that I saw. Multiple famousers in a row. I don't fucking know. A fucking one. What am I going to do, guys? What am I going to do? We try to maintain positivity on this channel, but what a fucking match. All right, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Jesus Christ. We are having a blast every Wednesday at 6 p.m. And we usually talk about what's going to happen on Dynamite. We talk about stuff that's going on in AEW in general. We talk about what's just happening in wrestling. It's a really fun stream. You should come join us. We're on all the platforms as well. So every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, and on Twitter, X, whatever the fuck that is. We're live on all 4 platforms at the same time. So wherever you like to watch live streams, come check us out. And the replays are always in the live section of this channel as well. Plus, if you haven't done it yet, come follow me on Instagram. A lot of clips from this show are going up there and we're getting a lot of traction and things are really cool. We're honestly being more successful on Instagram than we are here on YouTube. But I appreciate everybody that made it this far in this video. Definitely leave me a comment down below. Let me know you like the show because it's honestly hard to keep doing with the views being so low. But you guys leaving those comments helps keep me coming back every week to do it for you. So that's it for me. Make sure you check out another video. If you missed any of those live streams or other Dynamite reviews, I've done one every single week. So if you haven't watched one every single week, odds are there's one on here you haven't seen. Grave diggers, keep digging.
He is I and I am him, and I'm the undisputed trend Matt Taven. And this dork behind the camera, some Melvin told me to say, grave diggers keep on digging. Whatever that means.
I am AEW wrestler and Ring of Honor tag champ Mike Bennett. And remember, grave diggers keep digging, but not the monster truck. Even though my son really likes that monster truck, I kind of like Son of a Digger, and so I'm going off on a tangent about monster truck because my son really loves monster truck, but we're talking about the YouTube channel, so make sure, grave diggers, keep on digging, baby.
So this Mark doing one happy private party, saying what up to the grave diggers, and doing your thing, bro.
Alright, like, subscribe, and watch another video, or be cursed. If you're cursed, that means the grave diggers will keep digging your graves, so you probably want to do it.